Hey everyone. So I just recently got back from my trip to Italy. And for those of you that aren't following me, I'll just share with you that I went as a graduate of a 400-hour certification program to become a breathwork facilitator. And it was my graduation at this event in Italy. It was in this gorgeous mountainous region of Tuscany. And I can't even put into words just how glorious it was. I mean, just the foliage and the wildlife and the people that were there. Such heart-centered, beautiful, soulful people. And it feels like, why can't it always be that way, right? And so what I want to share with you is that the reason why it can't always be that way is because it takes challenging times in order to evolve, in order to grow, in order to become. And that's the reason why we all came here to this earth school, which is what this is, what our life is. It is an amazing experience that doesn't always feel amazing. It feels sometimes extremely painful and extremely challenging. And yet, it is those challenges that are there to present an opportunity for us to discover who we really are, wake up from this illusion that most of us have been living in throughout our lives, including myself. And the more that I am focusing on the truth of using my experiences, even the painful ones, in order to grow, in order to become the greater version of myself, it becomes magical. And so, yes, I had an amazing experience. I was away it was a week at the place where I mentioned in Tuscany, where I graduated, and it was just beautiful. However, it didn't go without some challenges as well. I did have some of my old program, my old conditioned beliefs come back to haunt me while I was out experiencing something with the group that I was with. And even though I didn't want to feel that way, I thought everything was going to be so wonderful the entire time I was there. But the deeper part of me, being that I've been doing this work, well, ever since my own health challenge about 6 years ago, it's actually 6 years ago today, I knew that it was happening for me. And even though I allowed myself to feel the painful feelings that it represented, I also knew that that was just my own perspective based upon what I've been through, and that there was more for me to discover and to evolve into shifting my perspective to something different that no longer is based upon the trauma that I've experienced in my past. And that's how we heal. And that's what breath work does. It helps us to move trauma that has been stuck in our bodies for so long without us even realizing it. But it really, most of us are walking around with stuck emotion from difficult times in our life. And it takes over how we perceive things in our life. And it keeps us looping in the same patterns of seeing ourselves in a distorted way based upon the past experiences that we've been through and the things that we've witnessed. So when I returned home, if you've seen my pictures on Facebook, then you must have just thought everything was always so beautiful and so wonderful. But I'm here to tell you the truth, that it isn't always so wonderful. And it wasn't. I had that experience that I just shared with you while I was away. And then as soon as I returned home to some drama that was very painful. And even though, again, I allowed myself to feel it, I still kept myself remembering that my main intention at this point in my journey is to choose love instead of fear. Because everything that we feel triggered by, everything that we're reacting to as though it shouldn't be happening, or that when we feel like a victim, when we're being mistreated or something has been done to us that we feel, shouldn't have happened that way. It's all based upon fear. Fear of something is what's causing us to react that way. And it is within our ability, when we raise our consciousness and really focus on using every unfortunate and painful and difficult experience in our lives in order to serve us, by viewing it differently and shifting the lens that we're viewing it through. Instead of viewing it through this lens of fear and victimhood and how dare they do this to me, or how could this possibly happen, or why is this happening to me? Instead, shifting it to, this is here for me. This is here for me to shift how I'm viewing it and how I'm going to respond to it. And when we start viewing others who may feel like they're wronging us, that we're being wronged by them, and shifting into compassion and love instead. And I know it's not easy to do, but it is possible. And the more that we make that our intention, and we surround ourselves with others who are doing that as well, and we choose what we're exposing ourselves to, the conversations that are going on around us, the people who we are spending time with, the content that we're watching or reading, then we really can make that shift and start to discover that everything is here for us. In fact, we even agreed before we came here. Now, this is a little woo-woo for some of you, but I believe that before we came here, that our souls agreed to the challenges, to the families that we were born into, because that was here in order to help us to rise into our most glorious selves, our most free selves. And that is why I'm sharing this with you, is because we have a lot of challenges going on in the world today, both, personal, individual challenges that most of us experience, as well as the global challenges and community that's going on around us. And all of it, when we shift the way that we're viewing everything, when we shift the way that we're responding to it all and put our attention on love instead of fear, we change who we're being. We change our personalities, we change our behavior, we change our choices. And that is what I believe we all have come here to do. So if this sounds interesting to you and you want to hear more, I'm actually going to be starting to open up my community, and at a very low price point, and even some for free, as ways to be able to serve more people in this journey of overcoming limiting circumstances in our life that feel like they're keeping us stuck and keeping us from our joy, from our beautiful life that we want, and using them in order to change within and create something new in our lives. And that's what I'm excited about coming back, because this really has been a whirlwind adventure for me, both the highs and the lows. And I feel like I'm coming back as a new version of myself. And I'm excited to connect with all of you. Well, all of you who would like to connect. So if you are one of those people, please do comment something below this message or reach out to me in a private message. That's totally fine too. And I look forward to connecting with you all. I hope you're enjoying your Sunday, and sending you all so much love. Mwah.